Previously, in a galaxy far, far away, a little Gek had crash-landed, ruining his peanut butter sandwiches. Hope was not lost, and repairing his ship he took to the skies once again. After defeating some pesky pirates, discovering some ancient bones and finding a mysterious signal, he journeyed on, looking for a trading post to sell his ill-gotten gains. His story continues.
My ship had seemingly sprung a leak in the launch thruster fuel lines, so I was thankful when spotting an enormous building in the distance. The landing pads were showing as active, so I set the ship down. Pause cross, they have a trade terminal. The archive building was huge, although I couldn't work out its purpose. The first Gek I saw seemed to be a merchant of some kind, and was offering various components and blueprints, in exchange for nanites. I purchased an advanced mining laser for my multitool, and a neural stimulator, an upgrade to my exosuit's movement system. Amazeballs, a Galactic Trade Terminal. I logged in and proceeded to sell the items I had collected. The ancient bones were worth a lot more than I thought. 814,000 units. Wowzers! This colorful Gek appeared to be an envoy for a merchant's guild, but when I approached, he just waved me away. Luckily, I found a trader who had launched fuel for a sensible price. I bought a stack, and returned to my ship. With my launch thrusters refueled, and some units in my trading account, it was time to set a course for the system's space station. Approaching slowly, I waited nervously for the entry authorization, fearing that the crash may have wiped my bypass chip's entry manipulation software. Jumping out of my ship, I did what every disrespectful Gek does, and boosted up to the trading platform. Stairs are for losers! The first merchant was selling exosuit upgrades, so I patched in and upgraded a tech slot, 1,000 units though. To install the advanced mining laser, I needed some components that I could not fabricate. I headed back to the trade terminal, to see if I could purchase the wiring looms needed. Bingo! They were in stock! Along the hall was a funny looking fella, who was selling planetary maps. He only wanted navigation data, so I purchased a few. Armed with the maps and an upgraded mining laser, I jumped back into my ship, and headed out toward the planet Remor N14. Scanners show that it's what's known as a breached planet, with deposits of copper, gold and salt. The planet was like nothing I had ever seen. There were hundreds of these amazing, and harvestable, anomalous objects. My scanner called them light fissures. Scanning the planet, there was only one lifeform registry. Readings indicated that it was harmless, and ate a diet of plant roots. It looked like a giant glowing marble. I collected a load of these light fissures, and cataloged my discovery, before heading out to the next planet in the system. Its name was SCP-Tau, and scanned as a barren planet, with copper, pyrite and salt deposits. It also had harvestable cactus flesh, but I would need special gloves for that. Spotting a shelter, I set the ship down, but couldn't help noticing that there were a large number of lifeforms, that the scan was missing data for. Without any info on their temperament, I set about scanning and logging my discoveries, money for nothing, right? One of the more curious creatures, Eboiorvorica, work together in a herd to spot incoming predators. They root through the undergrowth to find food, chewing on the heads of ripe grasses. None of the remaining fauna seemed dangerous, so I set about exploring the immediate area, and collecting as many resources as I could. Using one of the maps I had purchased, I started logged a miner settlement location. Checking the last piece of broken machinery at the site, I found an S-class mining beam upgrade. Amazeballs! Flying north, I spotted a strange building. Scans indicated that it was a transmission tower. There was a functioning landing pad, so I set the ship down to investigate. A distress signal was still broadcasting. Cracking the encryption code, I extracted the coordinates for the crashed ship. En route to investigate the distress signal, my scanners picked up an object of interest, but there was little information to go on. Setting the ship down, on what seemed unnaturally level ground, I discovered what seemed to be an abandoned base computer. Despite being named as Job High Outpost, there didn't seem to be any prior claims to the site, and the sonar test confirmed it was a suitable area for construction. Selecting the option to claim base, the unit whirred into life. Accessing logs from the previous user, I started receiving blueprint building data, directly to my exosuit databanks. As night had drawn in, it seemed like starting to build a shelter might be the best option. My exosuit thermal protection needed a recharge, but I had enough supplies. It'll be exciting to see what tomorrow brings.